said for years that Brian Cashman, it's actually years at this point, amazingly. Brian Cashman has not earned the right to rebuild the Yankees the way the Yankees need to rebuild. But Brian Cashman, in my opinion, he has earned the right to defend himself. And Mr. Cash came out swinging yesterday. And I got to tell you, and we'll get into the merits of, what was said, who was right, what we think is, applicable, what's not. The fact that Brian Cashman was feisty, the fact that Brian Cashman came out and was so resolute in his convictions and was so aggressive, I like it. Everybody's clowning the guy. And I'm sitting here saying, finally, I'm seeing a pulse from the New York Yankees.
Oh, I like the fire and the passion. And by the way, I was watching this unfold live yesterday and salivating. Like, I couldn't wait. Because I knew I had the half-hour TV show, but it's a totally different animal coming here with you 4 hours. So I couldn't wait to talk about it. And by the way, that was 20 minutes in. He went on for over an hour.
Yeah.
In what was as testy as a media scrum as I have ever seen. So I respect him defending his moves and his team. I respect his passion, his fire, his ability to clap back. But he's delusional in that I really believe, BT, you've got a problem if you're a Yankee fan because they don't believe they are doing anything wrong. And that's an issue. They think all is okay. They do not believe they're making wrong moves. They just think it's been bad luck. It hasn't worked out. That, to me, is a major, major problem.
Okay, I got to tell you, this version of Brian Cashman is a version I like a whole hell of a lot better because we aired it last year before you and I teamed up. Me and Teak ran it. There was about an hour or so. And it was the same old regurgitated nonsense. The injuries, I know they came up a little bit yesterday, but it was almost like, you know what, at least, and I know that he doesn't necessarily, well, he might believe it. I don't know that he meant to portray this or project this a year ago or the year before, which he certainly did. But it was always like a holier-than-thou attitude, like, how dare you chastise me, the master of the Yankees, inside my high atop my ivory tower in the penthouse of baseball with my terminal forever GM job. And there was just an air of confidence and honestly an air of arrogance, with all due respect to Brian, and certainly, and I don't use the word as much as you do, delusion, based on what he's constructed the last couple of years. This year, like, I love the fact that he's uncomfortable because that's the first step of a legitimate change. I believe a lot of what he aired out, you're right, that was an incredible exchange with John Heyman. I mean, going back
Joel
and
Sherman.
I mean, pardon me, Joel Sherman.
I mean, John was there too.
Yeah, he was.
Him and Joel were going back and
good
forth.
correction. The Sherman stuff was great. I thought Joel did a great job throwing names at him. I mean, it was as impressive, as unique a writer, authority figure, if you will, for a team that I've ever seen in my lifetime. It was awesome. And it was with merit because Sherman was right. And obviously, Brian's going to defend his moves here. But I feel for the first time that Cashman feels as if he's a little alone. Like he doesn't quite have the full backing of Hal Steinbrenner, of the Yankee family, of the Steinbrenner family. And he's out there like a little pit bull coming out. And anybody moves, he's going to bite at you. He's going to give you a little bark, and it's about freaking time.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. He's not acknowledging. See, he believes that they only won 82 games because Judge got hurt, because of injuries, blah, 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 blah. He does not believe that they have a fundamental problem with picking the wrong players, which continues to happen. And he was fixated on Joey Gallo for whatever reason. That's not even the biggest issue.
No, that was a waste of time.
How about Josh Donaldson? How about the endless pitchers that you tried to bring in here? How about moving Gleyber Torres to shortstop? How about thinking IKF was a shortstop? I mean, we could go on and on and on. How about saying you needed a left fielder last year, yet you didn't get one? So there are a lot of issues. Have they been unlucky at times? Sure. But let's not make it like the Yankees have been the gold standard since 2009, because they haven't been. They haven't been to a World Series. And I know what he's going to say. Now, we're not going to be able to get him on, but I know what he would say if we hit him with that. Well, yeah, the Astros cheated in 2017.
He's already said that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's
Can you imagine if we had him?
Like, that was their...
No, I mean, it would be fantastic.
Here's the thing. I respect Cashman.
Of course.
Great body of work.
Hall of Famer, I've said.
Guys in sports, it's nothing personal.
No.
Guys in sports lose their job when their team underperforms after an extended period of time. Now,
that's true.
He could throw out the ALCS a year ago. Yeah, but you got swept, and you're lucky that you even got to that point.
Could have lost to the Guardians as well, by the way.
Exactly right. And by the way, the second half of the year was a disaster. If not for Aaron
500.
Judge breaking a record,
Yep.
you wouldn't have even been there anyway. So we could poke holes in that as well. The year before, same thing. We're not a vintage great Yankee team in the regular season. And I respect what he's done. I think he is a very good general manager. However, what's he going to have the job for life? Let's not make it. And Hal says on one side of things, this has been bad. It's unacceptable, 82 wins. And then Cashman says, we're pretty bleeping good. Which one is it?
What a quote.
What a quote. Well, I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think you were pretty bleeping good. I think you stunk. How about that?
Oh, by the way, I agree. And these are two different things that we're hitting here. By the way, BT and Sound on the Fan. I know you want to jump in, Yankee fans. 877-337-6666. The part about Hal, and this came up, we played it yesterday. We talked about this a lot here on the show. If you say it's unacceptable and you do nothing about it, then don't waste our time saying it's unacceptable because that's a massive contradiction.
Right.
Oh, son, daughter, you got a 61 on your test. Oh, that's unacceptable, but there's no penalty.
Right,
That's
you want
not
to go for
unacceptable.
ice cream?
Yeah. You want ice cream or you want to play with your iPad? You want to play a game? You want to go play sports? I mean, okay, that's fine. Can I take it to the movies?
Yeah.
If it's unacceptable, you're not doing anything that you want to do until the results change. So that was I agree with that. That's one aspect. I'm totally with you here. I am not here to defend Brian Cashman's track record. I think I've been as vocal and out in front of this as anybody with Cashman. I have torpedoed his recent resume. But what I appreciate is the staleness and the stagnation and almost the apathetic approach by the Yankees and how they view their lack of success or overstate and inflate their level of success. Give me feistiness and give me combativeness and give me arrogance and give me that as a starting point because now I know you have a pulse. The Yankees, here's the thing, Sal. I don't think that I've ever felt such a disconnect, certainly the last 30 years, from the Yankee fan to the current product. Yankee fans don't watch the games the way they used to. Yankee fans don't rant and rave the way that they used to. Yankee fans don't seem to care as much as they used to because eventually passion needs to be met with a reciprocal level of passion. And I'm sitting here saying, I think Cashman's been a mess for 4 or 5 years. But that version, I could get behind that version.
Right, but he's the same guy making the decisions. Like I said, the fire was great. I think that fans can that resonates with fans. Anytime you show passion in this town or fire like that, that resonates. However, we're missing the big picture. Like, you watch that. You've been talking about for weeks, how you think that it's going to be different. They're going to go out there and do different things. You listened to those two speak yesterday, and you believe that things are going to change?
I think they'll be right in the mix for Soto. I also think that, and I said this before, I think that Cashman's been a little bit marginalized. I do. And Hal did say, the Sabian and the Minaya reference, that was, we didn't really focus on that. But by bringing them in a year ago, that was an acknowledgement that, we're going to have to strip Cashman of some juice here. I've always thought that. So you have accomplished men in the building. You've got an understanding that there's been a palpable, as I just explained before in terms of fan engagement, a diminishment in brand and in branding. The Yankee brand has taken a knock that it hasn't taken in decades. And as quiet and as docile as Hal has been, he's not accepting that anymore. Cashman feels it, and when he feels it, I would think that would force him to be proactive to change it.
BT, Cashman said he thinks they're pretty bleeping good. Think about what he said.
I think he meant the past, though. And I go ahead, finish your thought. But go ahead.
I thought he meant now, but even the past. So we're living in the past now.
No, but I don't care about the past because we flushed through it enough. I care about 2024.
Are they as good as Baltimore? Well run. Are they as well run as Baltimore's been now? Rebuilding a thing and actually winning 101 games, winning the division. They finished 19 games better than the Yankees.
Understood. I'd like to see Baltimore do it for a couple of years in a row. Yeah. Let's also be a little fair to the Yankees. Their bottom out was still fairly respectable, and the best player in the world missed 60 games.
But it's the Yankees.
I understand that.
Haven't been to a World Series since 2009.
Not defending that.
How about the Astros? Are they on the Astros level?
No, Astros are
the
a much,
Astros
much
must be
better
the luckiest
organization.
team known to man. Somehow they keep getting these ALCSs. Like Brian Cashman's making he's taking bows for getting swept by the Astros in the ALCS.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Astros are there. You talk about, the Yankees a bad year, they win 82. Yeah, the Astros a bad year, they lose in the ALCS.
Astros better, Rays better organization at this point.
Oh, how about Texas?
They won the
Series.
I understood. I understand that. No. This is not defending the recent resume. All I'm saying is, listen. Let me be very clear. If it was up to me, Brian Cashman would not be the general manager of the New York Yankees. And I can't be any more clear than that.
Understood.
I'm just reacting to yesterday. I appreciate that. Right. I respect it. I feel it.
You respect his fire and his passion, not what he said.
Well, if it doesn't lead to change, then yesterday was a complete waste of time. I am not fully latching on, but I am gravitating to the notion that his combativeness yesterday, to me, will be a foreshadow, I think, of a different offseason. And if not, well, then we just rant and rave and yell and just, destroy Cashman again. I'm going to give a little room to do something this offseason. BT and Sal on the Fan, 877-337-6666. Boy, that was interesting. We're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest brand names on tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. First up, let's get to you. Jerry's in the Bronx. Jerry, what's cooking, buddy? How are you today?
Gentlemen, let me tell you something. I'm teetering on both sides on this Cashman thing. I tell you honestly, when you think about it, basically, whatever GM in any sport has given this much time since 2009, and I feel we've regressed. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, free agency. We wanted Carlos Rondon. We wanted the contract for Judge, but that's not the problem. He's gotten what we wanted. It just hasn't worked out. You can look at it at both sides. You guys got to show me which side I got to go on because you're not convincing me.
Well, just go based on the results. How about that?
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with opinion. This has to do with results. Who thought it was a good idea to move? Forget about even the big moves. Who thought, Jerry? Who thought it was a good move to move Gleyber Torres to shortstop?
That was horrible.
Okay, well, whose decision was that? Brian Cashman and his whole front office. Who thought it was a good idea to bring in IKF to play shortstop when they could have signed Corey Seager?
You're preaching to the choir, and for us Yankee fans that are out here, it's 50-50. I understand.
Yep.
But what are we going to do? Well, it is what it is. We need to make – well, now I'm going to say you just convinced me to go to the other side. Basically, he needs to go.
Well, okay, Chair. I got you. Thanks for the call there. Yeah, let me. You guys can say whatever you want, obviously. I don't have much interest because I acknowledge, and we have many times, in relitigating his recent history. We all know, going back to the Ellsbury stuff, the Stanton stuff right now, acquiring damaged goods, injured players who, as soon as they got here, were injured. We know his track record. So I guess what we need to do is, again, I'm down for it. It's been a little while since we've done it. So if you want to rehash the old stuff, I'm not going to run from it. But it's done, and we know it, and we've said it a million freaking times. We understand this. I don't understand how this leads to the future. Nobody's getting on the air saying that Brian Cashman, at least we're not on this show, has been given the short end of the stick in terms of the court of public opinion. The last 5 years, he's been borderline wretched. With that payroll, he has brought back 30 cents on the dollar. To joke. He's been outclassed by 5, 6, 7 other franchises that were previously middling with half the resources that he has. We all understand this. All I'm saying is, I think it's about to change. I do.
And I'm asking, based on what?
Well, first of all, it's November, the 8th? Based on the fact that I think that they're going to get Soto if he's traded.
Even if they get Soto, that doesn't change. Now, obviously, he's the perfect fit, but it doesn't make the Yankee organization whole.
But it gives them 95 wins. Let's not talk like they're
No, it does not. He does not make them 13 wins better.
No, but with Judge, they won 99 games 2 years ago.
Right.
99. So Judge, who would have hit 55 home runs again this year, gets hurt because the moron Dodgers never fixed their antiquated wall.
Well, let's not make like Judge never got hurt before.
I understand that, but think if Soto was there while Judge was out, they finished with 82 games?
You think the Yankees are going to pay Soto? My bigger issue is with Hal. Now, with Cashman said he's defending himself, and there's a lot to get into, and we'll get into it over the next 4 hours. But Hal is the one. You heard we played the audio here yesterday on the show when talked about the payroll and what's it going to be, and he's blah, 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 blah. He's talking about Nick Swisher hiring Aaron Boone. Like, bro, are you going to spend or not? And to get Juan Soto, you have to spend in two ways that the Yankees have been reluctant to spend on. See, and yesterday when they were volleying back and forth and it went to Castillo was brought up, Montas was brought up, nobody said, well, why didn't you get Castillo? We know that you couldn't get him for whatever reason, and then you went to Montas. Why did you not get Castillo? And I would bet the answer is because they were reluctant to give up, let's just say, Volpe. And then the counter would have been, well, you could have traded Volpe for Castillo, and instead of waiting on Volpe or Peraza, sign the World Series MVP and Corey Seager. Like, think about that for a second. The Yankees have been reluctant to trade the top prospects. They've been reluctant to spend on the top free agents, and they haven't been to a World Series since 2009. Those are the facts. So Cashman can spin it any way that he wants. Are they better than the worst franchises? Absolutely. Have they better track record than the Mets and all these other teams historically? Absolutely. Even a bad year for them, they generally win 90 games. However, they won 82 games this year. That's historically bad for them. It is their lowest win total in quite some time.
Understood.
So these are the facts. He's getting defensive. We're just giving you the facts.
Yeah, I understand this. But again, the facts that we're giving him are all old facts. And again, nobody's disputing that. No, nobody, I'm certainly not. Maybe others will. Nobody's disputing that. He has been bad. He has really lost his way. I don't think that he's grown. I don't think he's evolved as a baseball executive, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. I do that. That resume is amazing, but he shouldn't be here. But he is, and he's scrappy, and he's feisty, and I think that's going to portend a more aggressive offseason for the Yankees. If not, well, then we get back to crushing people, which I have no problem doing. Tony's in Connecticut. Tony is other fan with BT and Sal. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up, Sally Cougine? How you doing, buddy?
Tony, how are you?
Cougine. I haven't heard that in a while. Cougine.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, with Hal Steinbrenner yesterday, by the way, you guys did a great job yesterday with Hal Steinbrenner. He sounds like a Little League coach about bunting. Those are fundamentals. Those are fundamentals that you learn in Little League.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a joke.
The Yankees figured it out. More of an emphasis on bunting.
Yeah, that's a disgrace. Come on. What, is this the major league?
It is. It was an odd quote.
Right, and
we're gonna run the best wheel play. You know, not only are we gonna bunt well, but we're gonna our bunt defense is gonna be absolutely top of the line with the wheel play. Right. Nobody will run the wheel play like us.
You know what we're gonna do this year? We're gonna hit cutoff men. I really think it's important to make sure everybody hits cutoff men. I mean, come on, guys.
Hey, and with Juan Soto, don't count out the Mets with Juan Soto.
I hear you. I agree.
I don't think the Mets are gonna do that. I'd love to see it, and they shouldn't be counted out because especially they could do more than anybody else, take on the money. You know, like we talked about it yesterday, BT, maybe a bad contract. The Padres want to get out from under. The Mets take that on and get Soto for then a lesser prospect as opposed to giving up top guys. The Mets got a lot going on, though, whether it's Yamamoto, whether it's being in potentially on Ohtani and Soto. Now, I hope to get 2 out of 3 if you're the Mets. The Yankees' focus should be Soto. That should be the primary focus. I don't think that they're going to do what it will take to get him, though.
Listen, I know that Hal said this yesterday. They can sit and stare at each other for 9 straight hours as they did for 4 or 5 days in a row down in Tampa at their headquarters, okay? The main point of the conversation should be, hey, guys, are we going to go down as the clowns who failed to capitalize on the absolute prime of one of the best players we've ever had in terms of talent and one of the best pitchers we've ever had? That's where the conversation needs to start. Are we really, because you've already wasted a year or two, so are we going to waste whatever remains of Aaron Judge's prime and Garrett Cole's prime? All the other stuff is important, but it's somewhat ancillary to the conversation. That's the starting point. And if they're not asking themselves that, then they're lost. I believe I believe that they know that they've got to change some things.
Right, but
I just believe that.
Right, I understand that too.
Okay.
How do you believe, though, that the same people running things are going to make those changes? Like Brian Cashman in his own mind may say, yeah, we need to do this move to get better. He's the one who's been making the wrong moves.
But I also think he's had full latitude from Hal, outside of the finances, but really, whatever Brian presented to Hal in the past, I just believe Hal was like, okay, if that's what you say, Brian, that's right. Good enough for me. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. I'm not an impersonation. Yeah, not bad. But I think now it's a little bit more like, hey, I just think Hal's voice is more cutting, is a little bit more present. But we will see. 877-337-6666. BT and Sound on the Fan.